Good afternoon. My name is Dan Allen, and it's May the 8th, I think it is. 7th? Yeah, May the 8th. And it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this is our weekly question and answer with the trading side of our business project. I'm going to be one of your hosts, and the other host is going to be Miss Alexis Williams and then also Mrs. Jessica Arzu. We're going to talk about our trading week. We're going to answer questions from our partners and clients, and just hopefully have a more advantageous advantageous view of the market going into next week than we did last week. That's all this is about. We just answer questions, and each person in the community getting stronger. There is no thing as a bad question. Hold on one second. We're gonna go ahead and there we go. There is no such thing as a bad question, and so we're gonna kind of start our meeting off as we do. Miss Alexis, how you doing today?
Good morning, Mr. Allen. I'm doing well today. How about yourself?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing. How was your trading week?
My trading week was pretty good. I did run into a bump where I entered into a trade too early again,
Okay,
but then it did end out playing out in my favor, so I was able to close out in profit.
awesome, awesome, good stuff, good stuff. Uh, Miss Jessica,
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning.
how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing amazing. How was your week? How was your trading week?
Trading week was pretty good. I think I found one thing that works really well for me.
Okay, I'm looking forward to hearing what that is. That sounds like a drum roll please moment. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. So before we get to more of our stuff personally, does anybody have any questions from their last week of trading, going through the material that our subscription provides us? Um, Look at this. This John just jumped from here all the way down to there, but it back to the 50. Well, that wasn't fun for somebody. Either way. So, does anybody have any questions about anything trading related? This is the time you can. The question can go to Jess and or Alexis, and then if I can help, I'll also jump in as well. Okay, perfect. Alexis, did you say you wanted to talk about some chart stuff this week?
I do, if I can share my screen.
It is on you, man.
Okay.
Mike Edwards, I see you, beloved. Thank you. Okay.
Okay. So, Mr. Allen, this is where I entered at.
For a
Right
buy or a
here
sell?
for a buy
For a buy. Okay.
on the 5 minute time frame.
All right.
But if I could just take you from the top to explain how I got this trade idea.
Yep.
So I started here on the daily and I marked off my daily support and resistance here.
Got it. The red.
Yes, so the red is my daily. Then
Okay.
anything you see in blue will be my 4 hour.
Okay.
So I identified this key level here and marked that off.
Yep.
And I have a major bullish trend line on the 4 hour.
Okay. I got it.
All right. So,
So the major bullish trend line became your bias for anybody listening. So coming off of the 4 hour, we now know we're looking for a trade that should be going up. Got it.
yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
So then down on the 1 hour, which is my yellow, here's
Okay.
another key level.
Yep.
And I decided to draw another trend line.
Got it.
Now, as I'm here, I was watching the 1 hour, being that I was going to be entering on the 5 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was looking at this, how price was bouncing off of the trend line. So I was anticipating it to come
And when you're
back.
saying bouncing off the trend line, you're talking about the bottom yellow one, correct?
Yes.
I follow you. I just want to make sure everybody else that's listening can stay in our conversation.
Okay. So, not to mention this trend line right here that I'm touching, that
Yep.
wasn't there because I had not identified this or looked at this as I was trading live in the market. So, all I had at that point was this yellow 1 hour trend line. So, I
Okay.
was right here. But as I was going back to try to see where I made my error at, look at this. And this is that apex triangle that you were telling me about.
Right. It's called a symmetrical triangle. And
Okay.
that peak that you're going to right there, that's the apex of the triangle. It
Okay.
looks like a cross right now, but if you don't extend past the peak, it comes into just like a triangle piece, and then it would be what's called a symmetrical triangle.
So after I identified this, I remember what we talked about. Once it gets here, you don't know. It could break above, it could break below. You just
Right.
don't know. So you might want to wait and see.
Right.
But I didn't. As you see, right around in that area, on this 7 o'clock candle is where I entered on the lower time frame. So
Okay.
that was one mistake I identified. And then, of course, I took a look at the 30 and the 15, but I came
Okay.
on down to the 5. And where is it? So once I saw this,
Hold on one second. Let me make a point to what you're showing. Now, the way she colored her charts, it lets us now still identify where the information is coming from, although we're going to the lower time frames. And if you were picturing, let's so the yellow symmetrical triangle that she drew on the 1 hour, it still plays true on the 5 minute, and you can go to your left a little bit so we can see the actual peak, the apex right there. So you can see that we knew from the hour that something was going to happen before it got to the peak that now looks like the cross, right? And then you kind of see it bounce down, and it hits. She was saying the whole time it was bouncing off the yellow trend line. It bounces off the trend line. Really, it goes to the top first, right? It's at the top of the triangle. Then it breaks down fast to the bottom of the triangle, then explodes out. So I'm ready. I just wanted to kind of show that our symmetrical triangle, it means something on the 5.
yes, and another thing that means something as well, this was my daily support right here. So
Yep.
meaning that that's really strong. And I guess I did not take into consideration looking left, because looking at that,
So now if you watch what you're looking at right here on the 5, you took a buy at the resistance side of your you took a buy at the resistance side of your symmetrical triangle.
yeah, that
Because the
happened. And
resistance would be the top, right?
mm-hmm,
Support would be the bottom. So now you got a key level, which is that green or blue?
green right here.
And what was you said blue was your
So blue is my 4 hour.
right.
This
So
green line was not here as I was trading. This was something I put here as I was going back to figure out where I went wrong and to show you guys had I placed this here, because this is another key level. And I highlighted this here because even though I saw these highs being broken right here by this candle, and then this one forming higher
I
than
don't want
them.
to trip you up though. Give me a second, Alexis. I don't want to trip you up. This green line that you drew in hindsight, it still isn't set to help you in your trading until you give it like hindsight trading is good for studying, but there's nothing in your forward test to apply that line yet. So unless you want to figure out to make a 5 minute key level, which could be green, I would still take it off because the next time you trade, it's still not going to be there to help you. So now we
Okay.
got some decisions to make, right? So
Right.
when we get down to the 5, if you're saying we need to look for a 5 minute key level so we're super safe, then now we have a new green line. We can add it to the trading plan. If not, I still rather you take it off because it won't be there next time. Does that make sense?
Right.
Which one you want to do?
Um, I would rather take it off.
Okay, well,
And
let's
this
take it
is the
off.
thing.
Let's
Another thing, like when I'm making the key levels, sometimes it seems like such a big space in between when I come down to the lower time frame.
Right, because that's exact, but that's how it should look, because you're making these walls, which are the key levels, at the higher time frames, so you can have a real good idea where price is going to pause at when you get down to the lower time frames. Right. So
Mm-hmm.
take the green line off for me, so that way we don't try to trick ourselves, because we don't have it in our trading plan. The thing now, look at it again. Look at how you're at the top of your uh symmetrical triangle that is giving you information off the 1 hour, right? So now that's the place kind of not to enter. And now if you just, as you were just saying, look left, you do see that there's some other stuff going on. When I'm on a 5 minute, I make, for my color, I'll make a trend line or array that I'm making that expresses just the actual 5 minute. So instead of that green line you were calling a key level, you can draw a green resistance, right? Because as you're looking to the left, you do see that it is resistance. And then now you can get you can look at the distinction between a support line and a resistance line, and then the key level. Does that make sense?
Gotcha.
Right. So now if you look at this trade you just set up though, if you let the trade just breathe, because we're watching it in hindsight, if you say you were looking for a buy trade, which is what you told me from the beginning, from the 4 hour, if you say I'm looking for a buy trade from a 4 hour, so I need price to bounce off my trend line, and look at any trend line trade on your bottom part of your 1 hour trend line on the symmetrical triangle, and measure what price did each of those times.
On the 1 hour?
No, you already, where you at? That yellow trend line on the bottom, that is from your 1 hour, right?
Right.
You already grabbed your bias from the 4 hour. So we already know we're looking for a buy trade. So you got two different times, really three, that price bounced off of your bottom trend line. Measure those trades. Yeah, measure that up and see how far you go up to your key level. That's your 20 pips. You did all the analysis, right? You told it the whole way through. You looked at and you coming back off of a daily support, right?
Right.
You just got in at an entry that doesn't match the analysis you gave ahead of time.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what happened. So I'm
Yep.
looking at it, and so again, I entered here, but because I was so confident in my bias, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get out, you know. So I'm looking, then all of this happens. And I'm talking to the market. The market's like, okay, well, we heading north, but we're gonna make a stop down south. So I'm like,
Right.
all right. Then this happened. We stopped down south, and this is exactly what you was talking about. I should have gotten in right here, rolled it up, and left this running. Then it hit my entry, and I could have took it up, and it did eventually hit my level. But what happens to me is, after being nervous about this not playing out the way it did, I didn't. So I watched this, and yeah, I was kind of sick after watching this nice, beautiful push, but I felt good that it played out in my favor in the end. But I could have caught some more pips this way.
Yeah, the key to this trade, though, is marrying your bias and everything you did. This is just, remember, we're still new to the 5 minute chart, you and I, right? So what you had 3 weeks ago, you weren't even coming down to the 5. So now this week, you got who you have been this whole time with your top down analysis. Now you're getting to the 5, and now you're getting to watch that your analysis was accurate. So now you get it to hold yourself accountable for a sniper entry. Now, can you put the 20 pip and dip indicator on this for me? Now, stretch the chart out so it look a little bit clear for people. So, because right here you got higher highs, right, higher lows. Now, right here at the top of your symmetrical triangle, where it got two real bullish candles real fast to the
Why you
left.
look?
The two that would have made you want to get out the trade. Right there. Yeah, no, to the right. To the right, to the right. Those two real big red candles. Right. Those two, they normally represent the people that manipulate the market to go get the greedy people to take the sell trade so they can become trap sellers. They're also what's called stop. It's called, it has a name. It's called stop loss hunting, right? The market knew what was going up, you knew what was going up, everybody knew what was going up. So with the people that's cheating are doing, right, is they say most people keep their stop losses 10 to 20 pips away from price, right?
Right.
So what they do is they'll push the market down for a short period of time, real hard and real fast, like you see right here, and then it take a lot of people stop losses out. So they are now they lost the trade because they got stopped out. It's called stop loss hunting. This pushed down 2 times, but they didn't cheat because they took it right to the key. They took it right to the trend line. You've been knew what's happening. So it's only for the people that don't understand the trend line, right? So they ran them from the top of the symmetrical triangle down to the bottom, hoping to take their trades out and then go run north. Literal name for it is stop loss hunting.
Mr. Allen, is that the same as a fake out?
That's yes, yes. The fake out is how they name it to be to not sound so cheating. So the fake out part is when they having somebody that once you see the first red candle, that they jump in for the sell. So the fake out is catching people greedy, which are now called trap sellers because they was betting for the down, but it was heading up. That's what the fake out is. The stop loss hunting is for the people that put in their orders all these times ago, and then so like there's different types of orders, right? There's a market order, which means you just press the button. Then there's a limit order, which means you want the price to bounce. Then there's a stop order, which is funny because there's a stop order and a stop loss, two different things. They make these different words to confuse people. So you got to go to somebody else to trade for you, right? So a stop, a stop trade, or a stop, a buy is you say if price goes up here, automatically put me in. A stop sell is if you say a stop order, right? If you say, or if it dropped down here, automatically put me in. So all this down right here is what I'm trying to say is market manipulation. But even in the manipulation, they followed the rule. They went from the like it almost looks like you drew the trend line after they did what they did. Like you cheated, but you didn't. You drew it on the 1 hour. So if you look on the 5, it respected exactly what you drew.
Yep.
Jess, what you see? What you see?
I was looking at it and it probably would have got me because I'm going in on higher lows now for a buy. So as it created a higher low there, I would have went in, and then as you can see, it shot down and created a lower low.
Right.
Um,
But as it's creating that higher low, it was also creating lower lows for most of it. So it was really compression, not a trend. So that
Yeah,
first,
that's another thing I paid attention to. And that was another confluence to enter as well. I'm looking like, okay, we're creating higher highs, but then you have this higher high and these lower highs. But once I saw this taking them out, you know, I kind of thought it was okay to go ahead and get in.
right, right, right. But now look where you are on your symmetrical triangle. You had a resistance.
Yes, and I wish I had that there as I was trading. I didn't realize this till afterwards.
Okay, okay.
That helped
So
a lot. That helped a lot. That would have been a deal maker or breaker if I had that there.
right, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But then like we're saying, upon taking the trade at the bottom of the symmetrical triangle when you drew the trend line from the 1 hour, if you waiting for that, either that one or the next one, the one that is up at 109,255, that one would have still got you something.
Here?
No, over to the right. That lower low to the right. That one that's on the symmetrical triangle. The
Okay.
bottom. The bottom part, not the top. To your left, down, right there. That one. At the down though. At the bottom part. If you'd have got it near, how far is that trade? From near to the key level.
16.
Not too shabby. I mean, I probably would have got 10. But not too shabby. Yeah, I probably have been somewhere like that when I got back to the 50. But the part is you already drew the top down analysis. So by the time you got to the 5, all of the things you were set to do was already set. Now you just gotta be patient and trust your analysis. Does anybody have any questions about this or anything else?
I have a question about a trade that I took.
Sure. Let me give you the screen.
Thank you.
Oh, you already got the screen. Yep, let's go.
Sledge. Hold on one second. I apologize.
No
I had to turn my mouse back on.
Mm-hmm. Mike, how you doing, brother? Okay. Take the 20 pip and dip off for me for a second.
Okie dokie.
Take your engulfing bull and
Candles
bear
off.
off for a second. Although those are two good things to have. We can talk about them in a second.
Okay.
All right, where we at?
So right here on the 5th, about 9:15, right, where it says that I'm unsure.
Okay.
I had the 20 pip and dip indicator on, and I also had the engulfing pattern candlesticks.
Let me ask you a question. What are you using the 15 chart for? So I know what I'm looking at.
Oh, this is just where I marked it up. I traded on the 5 though.
Okay. So
okay.
these so take me from your like Alexis did. Take us from your daily to your 4 hour to your 1 hour so we can follow your top down analysis.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
This is new to me, guys.
Let's take your time. That's how we learn.
All right. Hold on 1 second.
That way we all can follow your thinking the whole way through.
Right. Okay. So per usual, per Coach Max,
Okay.
I marked my
so your red lines are your daily?
My red lines are my daily resistance.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Perfect. And then the yellow ones
and
are
then
your
my yellow lines are my key levels.
From the 4 hour?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Hour. Okay. And then I had also did my trend line, which is the next. I still have a little trouble with that trend line.
No worries. No worries.
I'm working on myself though.
Got
okay.
It.
So
So in your daily, cut it to the line chart so we can see your so we can follow your process.
Okay. So, and this is where I had marked it up on my daily. Then I went down to my 4 hour.
Okay.
Did my
now we're right there with the daily. Go back for a second. So we can,
okay. I'm going to take the session breaks off. It always looks crazy.
Got it. It's up up to the middle. It says session breaks purple. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. So on your daily, right? Take it up to the daily for me.
Right.
Where is the qualifying spots to put the red lines?
The qualifying spots.
Yeah, like I'm looking for.
This is sometimes where I have a little bit of confusion.
Okay, that's why I wanted to come back. I'm looking. So
I stay on Coach Mac's back. Okay. I think that I partially lived with her.
I got it. I've been downloading her brain since April of 2020.
Right. So I noticed that like if I do it like on a Friday, if I'm not trading, it's one thing because there's still price action on some of my pairs. Right. However, if I do it on a weekend, sometimes I don't see the price action.
Okay, let me help out right here, right? So these two red lines from the daily, right?
Yes.
They should be on a peak. Right. Perfect. Even if it's not that's good. Now give me one on the bottom one, and then we'll go from there. That's good. Perfect. Let's go to 4 hour. That's all I wanted to do is follow that we were
adjustment.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so now your key levels. I see the top one.
You see
the second one. Yep.
Okay.
I see the third one. I'm good. I'm following.
Okay.
We might can get more. I don't know, but what you have there is perfect. I see what you were doing. Go take us
Okay.
down to the 1 hour. Now switch it over to a candle. Now where we at? Tell me what you're doing.
So with my indicators on,
Okay.
this is where it got to getting crazy. And when I was about to enter the trade, because this candle right, can I put my indicators back on so I can be more specific?
But before you do that, so as you saw Alexis, right? For the
Right.
time frame she was trading on the 4 hour, she went to go look for which way was price going, right?
Right.
So on your chart, I don't see that. So I'm not telling you to put it on here now because that'd be too much. So right here, what were you thinking from the direction of price?
Well, the direction of price to me was going on an uptrend.
Oh, uptrend because of this. Okay, got it.
Because
Now,
of that trend line.
got it. Okay, got it.
Okay.
So I follow. So where are we going next?
Okay.
Down to the 15s for some more?
Yep.
Okay.
So at that point, I have indicators on, right?
Okay.
So when this transpired, this is what made me look crazy.
Now, can you do me a favor?
Surely.
Up at the top of your chart where you see the clock, then to the right of the clock is like 2 reverse signs. All the way up to the top in the middle.
Oh, okay, right here.
Yes. Now go up to the right a couple times to the right of the clock.
Which is the alert?
To the right of the clock. The clock is the alert. I want one more. There we go. Replay. Yes.
Okay.
Click replay. And then take us to where you entered the trade and go. Yeah.
And go back. Okay.
I want to erase everything else so we can see what you're looking at.
Okay. So from here.
Go 3 to the right. No. I want to see right there. Right there. Perfect. And what that does, everybody, is it erases all the stuff in future time so we can start seeing present time. Okay, so what were you looking at now?
So when I saw this, I saw my higher low. First I saw this bullish engulfing, right?
Okay.
Then I saw that higher low.
That's not a bullish engulfing, that's a bearish engulfing.
I meant to say bearish engulfing. Bullish is for top. So when I saw this bearish engulfing and then I saw this higher low, to me, that is an indication that it's safe to go in.
I disagree. Bearish engulfing says that price. Bearish engulfing means price is running down.
Lower high.
Let me help. Let me help you, Kim.
Okay.
A bearish engulfing candlestick Bible is an indication that is a sell trade, that it was going down. So you said that your bias was to a bullish but up trade, okay?
Yes.
So the bearish engulfing was telling you that it wasn't a good time to take the trade. Now, if you go back to your left and you see that blue BE at the bottom, the blue one to the right now, that's a bullish engulfing. That's the one that would have told you it may be time to go to a buy trade.
Right.
Okay. So a bearish engulfing running to a higher low. Hold on, somebody dancing with us. Okay. I know I do. I only got one screen, but I see all the tests. Thank you. So a bearish engulfing, which is that red one, which sound like that was the potential confusion of this one. Then right to the 50, that's more consolidation. That's more of unsure.
Right, because it's on that key level going side to side.
Well, that's a whole different thing that I want to bring up in a second. But first, I want to go where you was at. Bearish engulfing is saying down, higher, lower, and the 50 bouncing is saying up. So you got 2 different messages at the same time, right? Which is why you're at a key level, because that's where the bulls and the bears have a chance that they have they meetings of the minds, or Gettysburg, as I like to say.
Okay.
So the bearish engulfing coming to the 50, bouncing off makes sense because you're at a key level. We don't know which way it's going at the key level.
Right. So,
So,
this is what I meant to say, Dan, and
yes,
everybody
ma'am.
forgive me. So this higher low right here is going is order, and to me is starting to uptrend. Then I saw this spinning top, right? And this is where
Right.
I get confused sometimes. This is where I was unsure. So with this spinning top, from my understanding, it's a reversal, or it can be two things.
See, hold it. Let me start right there again. The things you're looking for have other qualifying things that go with it, right? So that's
Okay.
not a pure doji. That's just a small candle, right? And you're at a key level. So this is the time to not enter a trade.
Okay.
So now what you want to do is you want to say, I got a key level, which you drew. So you want to say the Bulls and the Bears are having a free fall right now. Let me sit on my hands to figure out how it's going to turn out. So you've done a great job of identifying a key level. We've picked two things that show where the Bulls and the Bears are having influence. But right now, it sounds like you're still trying to find a trade at the key level. That's
That
what I hear.
and that spinning top, the spinning top always throws me off sometimes.
Okay, so ignore the spinning top at the key level.
Okay. That's all I needed to know. Thank you. That's
Right. So,
all I
but
needed to
here,
know.
but now get ready to press play so we can watch and see what happened. But right now, at this moment, you got the red dots and the green dots right together, right? And all this is, which is a great example of, is a lot of muck that happens at a key level. It's better not to try to pick which way it's going to go. So
Okay.
on your somewhere on your screen, I can't see it. It's a play button.
Yeah, I got it.
Press play. Let's see what happens with the trade.
Oh, what did it do?
Look like you pressed X.
No one's right next to it.
No worries. Another time. It's good. But hopefully that helps, right? And I
No,
want to
it
go down
did
to the
help.
5. Can you go down to the 5 at that same area where you were unsure at, so we can see what it looks like on the 5? Because I wouldn't have been on the 15 trying to look for entry.
Well, I normally stay on the 5. I don't know what I was. I had lost a couple of trades. I won a couple of trades that day. However, hold on 1 second. That was earlier in the morning.
Yeah, I'm sure that box that says unsure should still be there.
Say that again, Dan.
The box you had around price action that said unsure, that should still be there. So you just keep looking for.
There she goes.
Right. Now can you spread it out some so we can see it?
Yep.
The bearish engulfing is super clear there. And look at the bearish engulfing candle. It said bearish engulf and ran to the key level and went right back north. It didn't give you anything that the bearish engulf, like key levels is almost like crazy gravity where it don't got to follow the rules of what we're looking for, which is why we identify them to stay away from them.
Okay. Yeah. I just, when I'm reading these candles, sometimes I get a little perplexed.
Right. Well, it sounds like what I hear you saying is that you are paying great attention to the candlestick information, but some of the macro or bigger things that influence what's going to happen, like key levels and the 50 and things like that, you got to kind of get a order of procedure, because the candlestick itself is the last thing when you ready to press the button. It's the other stuff that you would have been like, it's order. It's like order of operation. Like in math, if it's all done in algebra, you do multiplication and division first, even if you see an addition sign or subtraction sign preceding it. So, which is, I know everybody not math people, but there's an order of operation of things. And right there where you are, the fact that you picked that spot and said unsure is perfect, because that's when you should be trading anyway. So you've identified that I'm at a key level. It looked crazy because it should look crazy. We're at the key level. Now, when you leave off the key level, now you start to go, okay, how do I want to proceed from here?
Right. Okay. Lesson learned for next week.
No, that's great. No, super decent. Because you should be unsure right there. It shouldn't make sense. And I think maybe hopefully the bearish engulfing and bullish engulfing, hopefully we got a little clearer with that for you. But the fact that you got it on the chart is decent. And most of the stuff that's on the Candlestick Bible is now on TradingView, so you can get TradingView to tell you when those actual Dragonfly dojis, Gravestone dojis are showing up as well. So the fact that you have made TradingView work better for you, I'm super excited for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm turning it back to you.
Absolutely. Alexis, Jess, jump in for this. What do y'all see?
Hook us up, ladies.
Sorry, ladies. I was trying to unmute myself. Yeah, great trading, Kempire. If I must say anything that I learned is, around those key levels, yeah, absolutely. You just want to wait and see what happened. That can sometimes be my problem as well. Not always acknowledging that price is at the key level. So, yeah, moving forward, just be mindful of that. But great job overall.
I appreciate you.
Just talk to me.
I'm same thing here. I recently started because you get caught up looking at the candles. I do. I recently started paying attention, like playing it together like a whole play, the key level plus the candlestick pattern. So good job.
Thank you very much, ladies. I appreciate everything that you said. It's going to help me trade better next week.
There we go.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to give you back the screen, Dan.
No. It's whenever somebody says something, one of us will take it.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you. Anybody else? Question about anything trading related? We're at 11:36. I'm not at the home office, so I gotta lean on this phone to give me the time.
Yeah, Mr. Allen, I have a question.
Sure.
This question was actually brought to me earlier this week by somebody, and it was about if a green candle could be a bearish candle.
No, unless they went to their chart and changed the colors. So for literally what a candle is telling you is where price was when it opened, where price was when it closed. And the way for this color scheme, right? Because you can make a candle any color you want. But for this color scheme, Kempire's green candles are literally okay for your color scheme. Your green candles are literally saying, show me any candle, make it bigger, like one candle. Like let's stretch out to any candle.
All right, give me a second. I was looking for a good one. And
Anyone,
I think we can.
It's the same information every time.
Let's go with this one right here. This higher high with this long wick.
Okay. So the bottom left of that candle, can you make the candle actually bigger? The actual candle, like ridiculously bigger. Just that one candle that you want me to look at. And this is really the Candlestick Bible we're about to talk about now, and it's the autonomy of a candle, the anatomy of a candle. That bottom left corner, the block part of the candle, that's literally where the candle opened. So if you're looking at your mouse is the way you got your mouse, price opened at 109.439, literally. Then if you go to the top right corner of the candle, that is literally where price closed. And since price closed higher than it opened, the candle is bullish, which is down green by the way we did it. Now, between that open and that close, there's a high and a low, which is the tips of the wicks. So if you go down to the bottom wick, that's literally where the low of the candle was during that 5 minutes. However, it closed at that top right corner though. And then literally during the same 5 minute period, it also went to the top of that candle where the top wick is at, but it still closed at that spot. Now, did it go to the high or did it go to the low first? We don't know. We would have to go look inside like the 1 minute to find out. But literally a candle that's bullish started at the bottom left and closed at the right left. And the candle that ends off bearish, which in this case is red, we can change the colors, right? So that's why they say bullish and bearish. because when you switch the colors, you can't switch bullish and bearish, right? So we say green and red, that could throw you off because somebody might have yellow and blue as their candle colors, right? So a bearish candle literally starts at the top left corner and it closes at the bottom right corner.
Good stuff. So that's exactly how I explained it. I understood how the question could come about. But that's exactly how I explained it, using a candle like this. So I told her that no, anytime a candle is green, that means it's because it closed above its open price, and vice versa for a red candle. Anytime it's red, is because it closed below its open price. Even using a small little doji like this one here, a lot of indecision, but it's red because this is the open up here up top, and then it closed down here below. But I understood where she was coming from, because looking at this, it's like it could be signaling, bearish pressure. Not it could be, it is signaling bearish pressure. Yeah. But at one point, this little small body was a big green candle.
1,000%.
And the bears pushed it back down. And if you look further, rejection. Right, rejection. Strong rejection too. Yep.
Now, what I would do, Alexis, is when you get somebody in that state, help them and teach them the word, because it's not always going to be green and red. So and I see that it's green and red on this particular chart, but now I would then start talking about bullish and bearish, and that the green is bullish and the red is bearish, because one of the things that people that don't want us to trade has done is made it just a vocabulary that's goofy, but it is the vocabulary of the space. So I would help grow the trader with making some. Now CJ, my 12-year-old partner, we'll not yet, right? But grown up, I would start so they can get comfortable with the words. So when they hear bearish later, they can go, oh, that's a down candle.
Yes, sir, I did, because I wanted her to understand, like, some people trade with just one color candle.
Yep.
For bullish and bearish. Yep. So I wanted her to be able to identify, no matter what the color is, if it closes higher than it opens, bullish.
Yep.
That's it. And vice versa.
Perfect. Kev Crump. She sharp, ain't she? Alexis, Kevin is an elder of mine. And when he sees somebody in our age bracket or however that go, he gets super excited for the sharpness of people, how we apply ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Mr. Kevin.
Anybody else got any questions? 11:40.
Mr. Allen.
Yeah, Mike, I love you and I appreciate you and I miss you. How you doing, my friend?
Doing incredible, brother. Quick question. The wicks, I see how a lot of them are respecting the key levels. Is that something that we could use as far as in trading? Does that have a significance, or is it better that a candle closes on the key level? Is it more significant?
Got it. Jess, Alexis?
From my understanding, it's testing the key level. So I would wait. Me personally, I've heard Coach Max say it too. The wicks are like a sign of exhaustion. And once you see a candle close either above or below it, like a full closure, then at that point it's safe, because you could see it's playing in that zone. Is this a zone?
It's a key level, but yes.
Okay, well, it's playing on the key level and it keeps creating wicks. Then once you see after that lower high, once it fully closed under, then it shot down. So it was safe.
You want any of this, Alexis?
I'm sorry, I was muted, you guys. I thought I was talking. I just wanted to say another thing I use the wicks for is because wicks kind of gives you an indication of where price wants to go, where it's trying to get to. So I like to keep that in mind as well.
Super decent, super decent. Mike, I treat them both the same from the standpoint the way you asked it, is that it's giving me information that I treat the key levels more like walls that price has to break through, and depending on which way price is going. So I'm you know, I'm a kid, I watch cartoons. Depending if price is trying to go up, I think the wall is a resistance to trying to stop them, even though it's a key level. If price is coming down, I think the wall is trying to stop them from going that way. Then I use the key levels as that's where the fight at the school gonna be at, where the cops not gonna be there, and nobody was allowed to bring guns, and everybody would get the rumble. They called them free falls when I was a kid. So all of the key levels are free fall areas. That's you gotta bring your knuckle game, and everybody you bring as much people as you want to. And so depending on how many bears or bulls come, depends on where price goes. I never know who's going to win. I just got popcorn. I'm watching, right? But I'm gonna tell the story when I get home. I'm gonna say, "Ooh, when I seen someone, I got a whole thing in my head, right?" And so the wicks and the candles for me, the actual closes at key levels, I'm more worrying about where did the Bulls from Erie Ave make the Bulls from Henry Park run, which is the Bears and the Bulls for me, or vice versa. So I'm more looking at that. When I'm watching price get to the 50, that's another key level for me. They actually call they actually call trend lines and the EMAs, they call them dynamic moving dynamic support and resistance, right? So I treat the 50 as a key level, right? Just one that can do whatever it want to do. So I'm watching how price responds to it, not so much whether it was the candlestick wick or the candle itself that got to it. That's not what I try to specialize in. I try to specialize in having the bias, whether it's going to go up or down, and then seeing times to go to monetize my bias, right? So the trade that Alexa was showing earlier, she was at the top of the trade with the trend line, the symmetrical triangle, where the monetizing of her bias was going to be at the bottom because we wanted to go up. We wanted it to bounce off that springboard versus how it bounced off the top one and went down. So that's my way of thinking of it, and it doesn't have to make sense for anybody else. I'm just giving it to you the best I can. And I grew up watching cats go behind the school at the small schoolyard and express themselves, and that's what I think the Bulls and the Bears are. Just people rumbling, and I get a chance to side bet on who's going to do what. Hope that helps, Mike.
Thank you, sir. Yes,
I
it
keep it as
does.
simple, no affiliate as possible for myself. Those folks throw up crazy words. I look at it, understand it because I'm smart. Then I translate it back down to off the block. Then I start watching price start going. I sit, look at it, I understand it because I'm smart. Then I go translate it back down off the block. So by the time I get down here, I'm on 7th and York. It was 714 York Street. Brother Sam had a pool table in his front room, and we could shoot dice, and he was the market. Your number could be 6. He'll bet you 6, 8, 9, 5. He'll bet you 10-4, and anything you wanted. I never seen him run out of money. So when I come over here, I'm at Brother Sam's house. Somebody else is shooting because I can't influence the way price moves, so I'm not the shooter. And I just watch the dice game and go, what do I think will happen? He done hit 5 numbers in a row. He got his arm got to be tired. I'm betting against the dice. I'm going down. I'm betting for a sell. Oh, he bouncing off the 50. He look like he ready. And I could just side bet all day. That's my version of trading, Mike. At Brother
I
Sam's
love
house.
that analogy.
But you got to find yours. That's what I'm saying. It's not that mine is going to help anybody. Is we've all been through stuff. So you just look at it, pay attention, make sure you understand the words that are the institutional words. And then what does this remind you of? Is it double Dutch? Challenge 1, 2, and see how far they go. Whatever it is for you, internalize it. And then when you're watching the market, know you are not the one influencing anything. You get to just see and then monetize your bias.
Makes a lot of sense.
Nah, Earl, Earl, you from Philadelphia. That's why I sound like that. You off the block. So we at 49. Let's go one more round for questions. And if nobody has any, we'll do our last thoughts and get out of here. Anybody got any questions about anything related to trading? Going once, going twice. Absolutely perfect. Last words, last thoughts, Miss Alexis, Mrs. Arzu.
Yeah, as always, guys, have a great trading week. Kempire, good job this week. We're going to do much better next week. I know I am. You know, you can reach out to me at any time. We can partner up again. And yeah, happy Mother's Day, ladies. Enjoy your day tomorrow.
Awesome.
Same here. Awesome work, ladies. You ladies actually taught me something because on Fridays, I clear my charts. So now I'm moving forward because I do a lot of talking and I don't show, which is not fair to the whole team on here. So I learned something new. Thank you. And happy Mother's Day to all you ladies.
And just
Thank you very much. We're great for you.
The 4 hour key levels, they don't really change. So from a chart perspective, you can, what I do is when I get back on the chart, I move my daily support and resistance, but the 4 hours don't really move. And then the other stuff that happened is normally to the left. So I mean, we'll remove that stuff. But once you got your 4 hour key levels down, I actually make weekly key levels too, so that we can be in full transparency. Just and it's a different color than my weeklies. You don't have to erase it so much. You just kind of make little adjustments. But with that being said, my name is Dan Allen. I was here with Kim Pyre, helped out a whole lot this call. My partner, Miss Alexis Williams, Mrs. Jessica Arzu. We will grant you a great week. Mother's Day, of course, jumping into that. And we'll be here same bat time, same bat channel next week. Be well.